Hello Taurus, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Taurus for the week of November 28th. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Taurus, let's go ahead and see what we have here for you. Now do make sure that you are subscribed to the channel for future updates from me. Likes, comments, shares, subscribes really do help the channel grow and are very much appreciated here. So, all right. Wow. Taurus, something's going on for you here. No need to fear though. Tarot is meant to help you. Tarot is meant to empower you. The point of my channel is to empower others. So we will find the gold, so to speak, in this reading if we can. All right, so I think that's just about good enough to me. So we start off here with 4 of the 5 cards being swords. So swords in tarot get a bad rap, right? Like swords, obviously feature, the suit of swords obviously features the 10 of swords, the 9 of swords, the 7 of swords, the 8 of swords. All of these cards are challenging. They can be. But it's a necessary part of the journey through the tarot, right? Because in life is not up only, right? Life is not up only. And it's oftentimes that through these types of situations that we become much stronger and we become brighter, wiser, smarter, right? And so right now, the cards are asking you to focus on something. Cards are really asking you to have some type of important focus in your life so that you do not let something pull you back, is what I feel like saying. There's something that has been challenging here for you. Okay, there's been a challenging ending. There's been disappointing news in the past. There's been some sort of challenging ending or news here in the past. And right now, some of you are staying in that energy, right? And, I do think that maybe some of you are grieving as well at this time. Now, this is showing up in the past, just to be clear that there's been an ending in the past. I do see that right now some of you might be grieving something. If grieving is not resonating with you, or grief is not resonating with you, you have this mental health card here with the 9 of Swords showing up, okay? And so this can be around fear, anxiety, depression, things like this. There is something that is... Some of you are going through a mental challenge, okay? Swords refer to the mind, and along with that, communication. And so there is an issue around thinking and maybe the thought process here at this time. So in the overall situation, you have the Queen of Swords. Now, this is an important card for you, and this is I would suggest, a good card in this reading, because the Queen of Swords is somebody who has a deep focus in their life. So the cards, the universe, spirit guides, whatever you want to believe in, or whatever you want to ascribe meaning to, are saying right now, focus on the things that are going right, focus on what you need to focus on, and everything will take care of itself. Everything around you will take care of itself, but you need to have a singular focus on something with this Queen of Swords card showing up. All right, cut out the noise, cut out the outside drama, which is what the Queen of Swords does. They get right to the point, get right to the chase, and that helps them succeed in life. You have, in the past, you have the 10 of Swords and the Page of Swords here. So the 10 of Swords is some type of important or big ending in your life. The Page of Swords can represent news of delay or even disappointing news. This is a challenging combination to find. The Page of Swords, in a much more positive note, I'm gonna give you the more positive situation. Okay, I'll just be totally straight with you here, which in the past, again, the good news is this is in the past, and to me, when you get the 10 of Swords in the past, it would suggest that the worst is behind you. But, the 10 of Swords is an ending that is final, and the Page of Swords can be news of that ending, okay? And so that's just honest, that is a potential scenario here. Now, the much more positive way of looking at this is the Page of Swords says it's time for you to take a thoughtful approach to your situation. Okay, this is also somebody who has a high IQ, quick thinker, quick on their feet, all of those sorts of things. Good at communicating. And the Ten of Swords, again, worst is behind you in the past, but this can also say that you are being released from something that never served you in the first place, or no longer served you. And so that is kind of the silver lining here in this situation, I think, for some of you. I do think that some of you are grieving from a challenge of the past, okay? Now, in the future, you have the Nine of Swords and the Hermit. So you're isolated right now. Both of these cards indicate isolation in some respects. You might even suggest that the Nine of Swords would say that you're suffering in silence. And, you know, this person here is kind of having a nightmare on the Nine of Swords card. I think some of you are suffering in silence. In a reading like this, I always like to point out that there's no shame in going to talk to somebody. There's no shame in going to see a therapist or a counselor. And, you know, this might, when you get all of these swords cards like this, again, this being so tied to the mind, it might not be the worst thing. So if you feel like this is something you've wanted to do for some time, the universe might be giving you the green light here. I would say with counseling and therapy, just make sure that you resonate with the person that you get help from. But you know, there are spiritually minded counselors out there, for sure. And so, yeah, that's one thing. But the Hermit, if you're just like, nah, I'm good, like I don't need that right now, or that's not what I want, or maybe you can't afford it, right? Counseling's expensive. This is like a very real thing for people. The message here for you is to do some introspection, and you are absolutely capable of doing that. The Hermit is a deeply introspective energy. This person is looking for the answer within the universe, and they realize in order to find that the universe is within them, and they need to find that answer from within. They need to be introspective. So you're being asked to improve on something, but more so you're being asked to focus on the things that are working for you. Let's see what else we have here. So you have the Queen of Wands, you have the King of Cups, Three of Pentacles, and the Empress. Okay, I very much like this. I do very much like this for you. So, where do we start? So first and foremost, there are a lot of people here showing up in your reading. We have double queens, we have a king, we have a page. The Empress might be referred to the mother in the tarot. It's the mother archetype in the tarot. And you have a lot of people here, okay? And not only that, but the Three of Pentacles is associated with people as well. It can be about colleagues or the people you work with. So 3 is a number of Trinity or other people in tarot. And so it's possible that this mental situation is connected to a toxic person. It's possible that this mental situation is connected to a colleague that you don't jive with, you don't resonate with. It's also possible that you're feeling down because of something that happened to a person, or that something like this here. On a different level, the Queen of Wands indicates attraction. And not only that, but I think more so in this case, your ability to handle everything. Like the Queen of Wands takes on a lot, but they can handle a lot. And so I do think that you're going through a lot here, but you can handle it. The King of Cups is somebody who is a listener. This is somebody who has an extreme talent for listening. This person can relate to you on an emotional level. And, you know, it is possible that some of you are maybe, I always say that the Queen of Cups is like the counselor or the therapist of the tarot. The King of Cups is the counterpart to the Queen of Cups. So I do feel like maybe some of you are reaching out for help in some ways, or somebody is, you know, talking to you in some ways. You might be getting some counsel from somebody of an emotional nature. The Empress and the Three of Pentacles. The Empress, as I said, can refer to the mother, but it can also be a major card of abundance in the tarot, because the Empress can see a seed grow, right? The Empress can see something grow. And the Empress is also extremely resourceful. You have this with the Three of Pentacles. You do have gifts. Three of Pentacles person does suggest that you have skills, talents, gifts, and you can be rewarded for those. It's possible that you haven't seen the fruits of your labor yet, and this is also, for some of you, what is causing the mental distress that's showing up in the first couple cards here. So I want more details because I'm not entirely clear here, but let's go ahead and let's get some oracle cards here. All right. So we've got 4 cards coming forward. So let's go ahead and take a look at these 2 first. So you have Master Buddha, increased awareness, deep connection, trust your inner voice. And you have Odin, psychic insight, your third eye is open, see truth for what it is, follow your intuition. Not many people have been getting this Odin card, and I actually love this card. Psychic insight, right? And so, you know, it's oftentimes when we go through a struggle, especially something like the Nine of Swords, we can become more spiritual. I was just saying this to another sign, I think it was Aries, where like when we go through sort of like whatever you want to call it, dark night of the soul, you know, whatever you want to call it, many times it's in those moments where we reach out for help, or we start following our intuition, or maybe we start, you know, watching tarot readings, or we start, you know, doing our own tarot readings, or we start doing astrology or whatever. And you know, you might find yourself becoming more spiritual recently. You also have Mercury, open communication, get a weight off your chest, speak up with love and be heard, as well as Green Terror, supreme protection. You are protected, cords are being cut, move beyond limitation, and trust. This card does not surprise me because, again, Swords is the suit of communication, and Mercury is the planet of communication. And so, you know, there is something here around that theme or that element in your life, that area of your life here, that seems to be important. Communication, thinking, the mind, this is all showing up for you here in this week. And, you know, with that Queen of Swords as your kind of overall energy, there's a focus that you're being called on to have in these areas here as well. So I'm curious because I want to get some more details on what's going on here. So let's continue moving up the pyramid. So you have the King of Wands, you have the Six of Wands, and you have the Moon. Some of you are simply in the dark about a work situation. Okay, some of you are simply like, there's something that's not clear about your work situation here. And yeah, that's the way that I'm going to put that, because, okay, so at the beginning of this reading, you know, I was saying that some of you are grieving, which I do think that there's like a pocket of you here that are going through some grief in your life. But I actually think that as we've been clarifying more, this is mostly about your work or career situation. There is something that you are in the dark on. I also think that you're suspect about somebody here with the Three of Pentacles, the Moon, and the Nine of Swords. Okay, some of you are maybe competing for something. I do see you taking your victory lap here with the Six of Wands. You know, you'll be successful in this endeavor that you're taking on in your work life or your career life, or whatever the case may be, what have you. But it's like, it's not happening yet because there's something here that you have to square away. The King of Wands, the Queen of Wands is a counterpart in the tarot. And, you know, these are two people that love what they do. They love life. They're passionate about their work life. They're passionate about their situation. It is a good card. It is a good combination for love, but we don't have any love cards here. Okay, so, you know, the King of Wands is typically more like an entrepreneur in the tarot, or somebody, if they do have a career, like a 9 to 5, they love it. Like that's what they want to be there. So for some of you, it's possible that you love what you do, and because you love it so much that this is why you're so mentally invested in something. You have the Three of Swords and you have the Knight of Wands. So the Three of Swords is separation, okay? It is, for some of you here, so many swords cards coming in. Some of you are moving to take a new job. Some of you are leaving your current job to investigate or to discover something new. The Knight of Wands is somebody who kind of is an explorer, an adventurer, goes to new places, goes to distant lands. It's a big card of travel. It's a big card of moving residence, like moving your location, moving your house, going to the city over, the town over, maybe even moving internationally. Like, it's a big energy like that, but you have this idea of moving away from something here with the Three of Swords, separating from something here. And so I think that this is on the table for many of you. The Knight of Wands is also skills, gifts, talents, abilities. This person's a maverick or a jack of all trades. And so I do think that you do have these messages of skill here. And so it's like you can go do whatever you want. Okay, and there's the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups, King of Cups, take care of yourself and do what you need to do to make sure that your emotional well-being is squared away and taken care of, because that's very important. Your health is your wealth. Remember that. Your health is your wealth. And yeah, on the bottom here, you have the Page of Wands. So I think you have all Wands court cards. Wow. Page of Wands, Queen of Wands, King of Wands, Knight of Wands, all of them. You have all of them. People connected to work. Wands connects to work. Also, the Wands is a job opportunity or career opportunity or offer. So big changes here in your career showing up. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you. I'll see you in the next reading.